News Desk. To the looming strikes now, and medical professionals have issued a 7-day notice to their county bosses, after which they will down their tools. The Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, Kenya Health Professionals Society, Kenya National Union of Medical Laboratory Technologists, and Kenya National Union of Pharmaceutical Technologists have decried delays in salaries. Their strike notice comes just days after the Kenya County Workers Union also registered a warning that they will not report to work come Tuesday next week if their salaries delay further.
It is unfortunate that the workers who work hard and on a daily basis to deliver services on behalf of the government can be subjected to financial hardship due to tussles on divisions of revenue between the county and the national government. The workers feel the government is not concerned about their welfare. We have therefore demanded as follows: that 1, July salary is paid within the next 7 days before 16th August of 2019. That all deductions made from employees' salary are remitted with immediate effect to the union and the association respectively. Failure to which, to do this, our members shall proceed on strike without further notice, effective of the 16th of August 2019. Maybe I need to make a comment and say that as you have seen us, we have given the government enough time. With the financial difficulties, and of course the economical difficulties that the country is undergoing, our members have been left to vendor for themselves. They are trekking, actually walking to work to ensure that they are offering services. They have gone some days without food because we have dedicated all our time to serve the government. We do not have any other business that we are doing. Due to this, we cannot allow our members to continue be subjected to continue begging when they are working. Our members and our family are solely depending on us. We cannot continue begging forever. And it is because of people deliberately failing to agree on a few things. And of course, when they are going for their joyride, as we have seen of the recent past, they have money to do that, but they do not have money to pay. They have money to go and benchmark, but they do not have money to pay. They have money to do joyride and do their own political business, but they do not have money to pay people who are productively working. We are saying it's enough to this. We will not allow it. However, with this notice, we will still give them 7 days. If it will fail, no worker will go to work from these unions and the association representative here.
Our reporter Mark Namaswa now joins us to put some perspective on the rising strike notices. And good afternoon to you, Mark. Do we know how the government has responded to this?
Now, Sharon, looking at the stalemate that we are staring at, it is that there has not been any consensus reached between the Senate and the National Assembly concerning the division of Revenue Bill 2019. This means that money cannot be disbursed from the Treasury to the counties. And how did we get here? Now, the Commission on Revenue Allocation had proposed a figure of 335 billion shillings to be disbursed to the counties. This figure was agreed upon by the Senate, but the National Assembly agreed with Treasury that had proposed a figure of 316.5 billion shillings, which is a slight increase from last year's 314 billion shillings. Now, the Senate argues that this figure is too small for this year's allocation, meaning that other factors such as inflation and growth have not been factored in. Now, looking at what the presidency and also the deputy president has spoken concerning this figure is that the deputy president urged all these parties, that is the Senate and the National Assembly, that was supposed to agree on this figure to come to an agreement. And in fact, there's a mediation team that has been tasked in order to bring these two houses of bicameral parliament into agreement. Now, this has not been reached upon. Now, the president about 2 weeks ago urged these two parties, as well as the Council of Governors and the counties, to accept whatever amount that was placed before them, because that is the way the situation and the economy can accept, but can tolerate. But that has not been taking place. Now, looking at the way things are at the moment, is that apart from these health workers, the county government workers union has also declared, has also issued a strike notice, because for the July salaries, workers in the county government haven't received any cent. And looking at today, it is 9th of August, which means we are almost in the middle of the month of August, and they haven't received their pay for last year. So what we are looking at the moment, Sharon, is a possible total shutdown of operations in the county if both the Senate and the National Assembly cannot come to a consensus concerning the exact figure that should be disbursed to the counties. And this boils down to the Division of Revenues Bill 2019.
Before I let you know, the Parliament is about to go on recess, right? And what does this mean? I don't know if the health workers responded to this during their presser this morning, that if this legislation is what has to be passed before an agreement is reached, it's a total shutdown, as you say, we are looking at.
This is a difficult scenario to pinpoint exactly where the solution will come from, but according to the law, if counties cannot be able to agree on the division of revenue, what happens is that they are allowed to draw back some 15% from their previous year's allocation, meaning if in the previous financial year they were given some 314 billion shillings, if we calculate an estimate of 15% from that figure, that brings us to about 46.5 billion shillings. And that, if you divide in, across the 47 counties, each county will receive some figure that is slightly less than 1 billion shillings. But how long will this last? Probably less than 2 months. So we are looking at a stalemate, but this is subject to the mediation teams, whether they'll be able to bring these houses together and come up with a solution before this 15% that the counties will be forced to fall back on expires.